Hi everybody, welcome to the next video in Our Voice, Your Choice video series. Today we're going to be interviewing some faculty here at the University of Guelph, and we're going to get some of their opinions about single-use plastics and sustainability on campus.
Ask you, what are the usefulness of plastic?
Plastics are very useful. I mean, that's why they exist, right? So they're cheap, they're easier to make, they last a long time, they can be broken down and made into other things. There's all sorts of health and safety issues that have been solved by using disposable plastics in particular.
What would you say are the disadvantages of plastics?
Well, obviously the biggest disadvantage is that the pro is the durability, but that there's a con to that, right? Is that they don't break down, and they can be, once they're created, they can be in the environment for, incredibly long periods of time. And what we're finding is that can pose a problem for certain ecosystems, for certain species. And so that's, I think, we're really starting to see the drawback, especially since our production has vastly ramped up in plastic products, and that's as a result partly of our increased population and demand for them. And so I think there's no part of the globe that's not impacted by plastics.
I would say the disadvantages are really the longevity of plastics. They're not going to break down, they're not going away. Some scientists have referred to them as technofossils, something that's around long after humans are gone. So I think we need to think about how we can make a more sustainable choice, and choices that can be in part of kind of a circular economy rather than something that's used once and then thrown away.
What are the disadvantages to plastics?
I think many people might be under the impression that it's easy to recycle plastics, and that's not the case. I think other countries have better infrastructure to deal with plastics. I lived in Germany for a while, and I remember when I visited there, they have such an incredible system to recycle. I think the fact that it's not easily recyclable, that sometimes there might be excessive packaging when it's not necessary, and that also contributes to plastics that often cannot be recycled officially, just contributes to pollution.
I'm just curious, do you think that sustainability plays a role in the lives of students that you see around you?
I think in general they're more aware of ways in which they can contribute to improvements or sustainability. When they have a place of their own or they choose their career path, I think that's when they're in a position to make a big difference. But until then, something like contributing to a bigger sustainability initiative on campus is a really good place.
Talk to administration at the university at all about sustainability? Is there any communication between profs and administration?
A little bit, actually. There's the President's Advisory Committee. I think there was a call for faculty and others, members of the university, to join. So that's one of the pillars of the university mission, is to improve sustainability. So there's a call for that. Actually, there was the Guelph Griffin Green Initiative project that was offered a few years ago. So there's a lot of students that are involved in sustainable projects and ways to improve the campus.
Do you care to expand on that research paper you were talking about in your own line of research and how that relates to sustainability?
Sure. So in general, I research cooperation, why people will cooperate with each other. Well, protecting the environment is a cooperative act because it benefits everybody. We all benefit from clean air, clean water, no garbage on the streets. So the question then is, well, why would anybody expend any effort or any cost to protect the environment? Given that everybody benefits, why don't people just sit back and let somebody else take care of it? So what I'm looking at is, what is, I guess, the ultimate function of this behavior that might cause some sort of environmental consciousness to be learned or evolve on any time scale. And so we're looking at, are there any benefits for being environmental that people might receive, which will cause people to be more environmental? And if we can understand this, we can use this to tweak situations so that people do benefit from being environmental.
What role would you say sustainability plays in your research?
Sustainability plays a huge role in my research. My research personally is looking at the use of digital agricultural technologies and how they can lessen agriculture's impact on the environment. So We know that we need to produce more food for a growing population, but we can't do that by bringing more land into production or, exacerbating climate change. So what new technologies can we develop to help address those challenges, but at the same time implement new technologies in a sustainable and equitable way?
There, people might not miss it, and they might know this. There are many other examples of this, right? If there's chocolate in the house, I will eat it. But I don't want chocolate in my house because I know that I'll eat it. So if it's not in the house, I don't miss it. Other people are saying, there's food in front of me, I'll eat it. There's a word in this French, gourmandise. It just means I'm eating because it's there. And it's the same with these conveniences. Once these things are gone, people might not miss it.